Hey there, what's up, YouTube? Got a new battle here versus Kryson. He's a pretty good guy, but there was a lot of things that happened. So I lead off with my Jirachi, which is Dunsparce, because Dunsparce is beast, and he leads off with his Wheezing, and I don't want him to Will-O-Wisp anything, so he goes for the Will-O-Wisp because I predicted that, and he misses. So I go for the Calm Mind because he thinks I'm gonna go for Psychic, but I do not pack Psychic on this Jirachi. It's awkward, isn't it? And if you hear birds, that's because I'm outside, because birds are amazing. Just like this Jirachi. So he goes in Magneton. I was like, oh god, HP Fire. So I go for my Calm Mind and get +1 special attack, +1 special defense, and I go for my Fire Punch. I'm obviously faster than that Magneton because Magnetons suck in speed. So I go for the Fire Punch, and that takes out his Magneton. Awesome! So, yeah, I forget what he goes into now, but we will see. So he goes into his Blissey. I was like, oh god, special wall. So I go into my Blissey Honer, Dugtrio, because Dugtrio has the special ability Arena Trap, which means you cannot switch out unless you have Levitate or is a flying type Pokemon. So I go for the Earthquake, and it does a little bit over half. And he goes for a Seismic Toss, and that obviously is just going to do 100 damage to me because that's what it does. Gives you damage equal to your level. So I go for another Earthquake. Goes back to green health after leftovers. And my Earthquake takes it down to red, almost killed, but not quite. So he goes for another Seismic Toss, and I live with 11 because it did another 100 to me. And I only have 211 HP, so who cares? So I go for Earthquake, and obviously it was going to take it out, but it did. So his Blissey's gone, which means I don't have to worry about it no longer, but you know what? It doesn't matter. So he goes into his Gengar, and I was like, oh god, it's Gengar. So I decided to switch out to go into Mojo Jojo because of Hypnosis and my Vital Spirit kept me awake because beast. So I go for the Bulk Up, thinking I could live a Thunderbolt with like enough HP to take another one, but I don't, so Mojo didn't do anything. It just blocked something for me, and that was it. So I just decided to go for a Rock Slide, thinking he was going to go like Substitute or something, but it doesn't, and it takes out my Primate. So I go back into my Dugtrio, and he couldn't do anything to this Dugtrio. So I go for a Rock Slide. I miss, but if it's windy, I don't care. But he goes for a Destiny Bond, so it was like, why Destiny Bond? I guess he has nothing else. So I go for a Rock Slide, and I don't miss. Takes it down to a little bit under half. And he goes for another Destiny Bond, which is weird. So I keep on going for the Rock Slide, and I think this Rock Slide takes it out, but it also takes me out because of the Destiny Bond. But Dugtrio served its purpose and locked the Blissey in and killed it. So I go back into my Dunsparce, and he goes into Vaporeon, and this Vaporeon was making me a little bit worried here because I go for my Thunder Wave, and I think he goes for a Substitute. Yes, he goes for a Substitute. I was like, what if Vaporeon carries Substitute? I never seen those. So it blocks my Thunder Wave, and I decide to switch out. I go into my physical wall, a Skarmory, that guy, and he goes for a Baton Pass. And I was like, oh god, what could he bring out? He only has the Wheezing and one Pokemon we've never seen. So he goes into a Blaziken, and I was like, oh god, it's Blaziken. So I go for my Roar because he tries to set up a Swords Dance, but I go for the Roar, so it doesn't really matter. So he's out of his sub, and his Vaporeon comes back in. So I decided to go for a Drill Peck this turn because I don't want to give it any time to do anything cool. So it turns out that I'm faster than his Vaporeon. My Drill Peck does absolutely nothing, but his Surf does quite a lot because this is a physical wall, not a special one. So I decided to switch out this turn. I go into Jirachi, and he sets up a sub this turn. I was like, oh god, he's gonna do it again. So he sets up his Substitute, and he gets his leftovers, and I go for the Thunderbolt to break his sub. So when he does Baton Pass, his Blaziken or whatever he switches into doesn't have the sub anymore. And he Baton Passes into his Blaziken again. And I go for the Thunderbolt this turn. Well, yeah, because I don't pack Psychic, which I should, which I might put on this thing. And I live with 86 HP, which is awesome. And I go for my Thunderbolt, and that does enough, quite enough, but not enough to take it out next turn if, random stuff happens. So I go for the Thunderbolt, he goes for Fire Blast, and luckily he misses, and I get a crit because I am that amazing. Critical hit, woohoo. So, this Blaziken's gone, which means I don't have to worry about it anymore because I have a Blissey on this team, and Blissey has came out this whole battle because Blissey's amazing. So he goes back into his Vaporeon, and yeah, so basically what happens here, the guy, he had to go, so I was like, what the heck? So I go for a Thunderbolt, and he lives. I was like, what the heck? How do you live that? But he gets paralyzed, and he gets the para hack. So amazing for me. So I go up some more in health, and he goes up some more. So I go for a Fire Punch, just to be funny, but who cares? It didn't take it out. And he goes for a Surf, and guess what? I live with 33 HP, another multiple 3, because that's why I named 3-3. And it gets 4 health with leftovers, and that's another multiple 3, obviously. So yeah, he left for a very long time. He was like away from the keyboard for like I don't know how long, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But good thing I speeded this up. So yeah, I go for a Thunderbolt, and it takes out his Vaporeon, and his last Pokemon is Weezing, and he knows he's going to lose. So basically, he just runs. So you guys, tell me what you thought about this battle, and comment, rate, subscribe, get me recognized, and thanks for your support. Yeah, so after this battle, I was kind of thinking about, you guys giving me ideas of Pokemon I should use, because I am tired of seeing the same Pokemon movesets, it's just annoying. So, like Alpha A, he had a pretty good Metagross. He was pretty amazing. Special attacking Metagross was the best thing ever. I've never seen it happen. So that was, like, give me an idea like that, like a moveset for a physical attacking Gengar. Who would run that? I have no idea, but just leave me some ideas. If you do, I will probably use them. Actually, I will use them. I'll test them out, and if they work well, good for you. You're a smart person. Awesome. Good job. So, that's about it. So, I will be seeing you guys all later now. Woohoo.